What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another video on my YouTube channel. I know it's been a while, just been a little busy with some stuff, but there's some big things to talk about in sports. MLB playoffs going on right now. The Dodgers did just get eliminated, and it'll be the Padres and the Phillies, and then the winner of the Yankees and Guardians series will be facing the Houston Astros for an opportunity to go to the World Series. So let me know your guys' thoughts on the MLB playoffs, but in this video, we're going to talk about some basketball and some football. Big story coming out of the Bay Area. Draymond Green, obviously his whole altercation with Jordan Poole. He's not going to be suspended for that. But the even bigger story is Jordan Poole and Andrew Wiggins both being signed to new contract extensions. Jordan Poole was signed to a 4-year, $140 million deal, and Andrew Wiggins was signed to a 4-year, $105 million deal. And these are obviously some big re-signings for the Warriors because those two guys were critical in their run to winning the championship. When you look at Jordan Poole, he's a guy that can create a shot at all three levels. He was another big scorer for them, getting big buckets in key moments in their postseason run. And then when you look at Andrew Wiggins, we go back to where he started. High draft pick, was projected to be, people thought he had like superstar talent. And then he didn't really work out in Cleveland, so he goes to Minnesota. And he shows flashes there. He puts up some good numbers, but people are saying he's not committed, stuff like that. And then the Warriors trade D'Angelo Russell to the Timberwolves, and they get Andrew Wiggins back. And then you just see a different side to him. He's playing in a system with Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Steve Kerr as coach, who knows how to utilize all those guys and put them together. And Wiggins was huge because of his ability to also create shots, and not only that, but he was also one of their best defenders when it came to defending guys in the playoffs, especially when it came to defending Jason Tatum in the finals, because Andrew Wiggins was really the only guy on their team who was quick enough to stay with him and who had the length to match him. So both of those guys were rewarded with lucrative contract extensions, and I think that's big for the Warriors because it shows that they're committed. It shows that they're not only committed, but they're committed to trying to run this thing back and continuing their dynasty. They're not satisfied with 4 rings and 6 finals appearances. They want more. And I think when you look at the Western Conference this year, the Warriors should be the favorite because they are the defending champions. But then you have teams like the Clippers, the Pelicans are a sleeper team, the Timberwolves trading for Rudy Gobert in the offseason. They think they're ready to take that next step. You have to look at the Grizzlies, who were the number 2 seed last year, and some would argue maybe would have beaten the Warriors had Ja Morant not gotten injured. I don't know about that, but you obviously have to look at the Grizzlies, and then you have teams like the Suns, who I think people are kind of starting to see the book on the Suns. Their window may be closed, but you never know. And then the Lakers, we got to see what they can do with a healthy LeBron James and a healthy Anthony Davis. There's teams that I'm forgetting. The Nuggets are a contender out west too. There's probably more that I can't name right now just because the Western Conference is so stacked. But the Warriors bringing all their guys back and getting ready to run it back is huge because the West is going to be deep and it's going to be tough. So if the Warriors are going to win it again, they're going to need all hands on deck against teams like the Clippers and other teams that I mentioned. And then just overall, basketball season is starting tomorrow, Tuesday night, when I'm recording this Monday afternoon. We have the Sixers and the Celtics going up against the Sixers and the Celtics as the first game, and then Lakers Warriors, as the Warriors will have their ring ceremony and receive their championship rings. So let me know what you guys think about some of these games this week, and what are your guys' early season NBA predictions for awards and who wins the championship and all that stuff. And let me know what you guys think about the Warriors re-signing Jordan Poole and Andrew Wiggins. I think these are big signings for them, but I want to know what you guys think. And so, moving on to the NFL, yesterday we had some pretty good games. The Cowboys and the Eagles was pretty good, 20-0 at one point, and then Cooper Rush was able to find a way to bring them back to make it 20-17. But I think we all, or at least I, pretty much thought the Eagles were going to win that game. I don't think it was really ever in a doubt, because when the Eagles got the ball back 20-17, they drove all the way down the field and scored, and that pretty much put it out of reach. And I think we saw how to beat Dallas with Cooper Rush. You get out to a lead, and you force Dallas to have to throw the ball, because when you're down multiple scores, you can't just run the ball. You can't play that ground and pound style of offense like Dallas likes to do when they're able to get a lead, and that hides Cooper Rush. The reason they've been having so much success with Cooper Rush is because in these games they're able to get out to leads and run the football, which has been Dallas's identity for who knows how long now, for years. They like to run the football, and they like to chew clock, and they like to throw as the least amount of times as possible. And that's what made them a successful team during times like Dak's rookie season when they went 13-3, because they had Ezekiel Elliott, who was the leading rusher in his rookie year, and they were able to mix up the run and the pass very well. And when they would pass, they would be able to use play action because their run game was so respected. But I think what's happened over the years as their offensive line is declining in age and guys are getting hurt, and Zeke is not looking like he has the fresh legs that he used to have, it's getting harder and harder for Dallas to run the football. They're not seeing those immediate results that they were used to from the Tony Romo era with DeMarco Murray and the early Zeke years. And so they've become a pass-heavy team over the years, which has been part of the reason why Dak's numbers have looked so good, just because they're throwing the ball so much. But it's been proven that they're a team that they need balance. They need to be able to run and pass the football pretty much equally in order for them to have success. And we saw last night the Eagles take away the run game, which forced them to have Cooper Rush throw the football. And we saw that when he was pressured, he made mistakes. Darius Slay got an interception. C.J. Gardner-Johnson got that last interception, the third one, when he missed CeeDee Lamb, who was wide open. And then we saw James Bradbury, I believe, he got the second interception off Cooper Rush, that one that ricocheted into the air. And so there was never a quarterback controversy in Dallas, like I said. It's the same. Cooper Rush is a backup quarterback, and when they forced him to throw, when they forced him to overcome adversity, he wasn't able to do it. Props to him for bringing them back from 20-17, because I definitely thought the game was over when it was 20-0. But we see this is the formula. This was the formula to beat Dallas. And so I think next week they play Detroit, and so I think Dak is going to come back. He said he's ready to play, so I believe he'll play. So I think we may see them go back to passing the ball a lot more because Dak is in there, not seeing as much of the run game. If they're smart, they'll keep it balanced and do what they were doing that was giving them success, that helped them beat the Bengals, who are looking pretty good now, the Rams, who are coming off a win. Good teams like that, because they were able to mix in the run and the pass. And I still believe in their defense. Their defense was put in tough spots last night because Philly had a short field, and they held them once, the 3, and then they scored. So I still believe in Dallas's defense as a unit that can wreak havoc with their defensive line, especially with Micah Parsons, and they can make plays in the secondary. They're not forcing as many turnovers as they were last year, but their pass rush looks to be much improved. So that's a great sign for Dallas. I still believe in their defense going forward, and I still believe in them going forward. I think they can still make the playoffs even when Dak comes back, because when he got hurt, I initially was like, their season might be over. But Cooper Rush, give him credit, he was able to keep them afloat. He won games. He only lost one game as the starting interim quarterback for the Cowboys. And they have the Bears and the Lions in the next 2 weeks. If Dallas doesn't win those 2 games, they don't deserve to make the playoffs. So Dallas could win those games, and their schedule isn't looking that tough going forward. I know they have teams like Green Bay, who the Packers are not looking very good right now. But I think Dallas should still be able to make the playoffs when Dak comes back, the better quarterback, the best quarterback on the team, when he comes back. And so I think Dallas will be fine. And then the one other NFL topic I wanted to talk about was Tom Brady, because it looks like he just doesn't look the same this year. He has all his guys. He has Mike Evans. He has Chris Godwin. He has Leonard Fournette. Julio's been kind of in and out of the lineup. We obviously know there's been some stuff going on off the field with him and his marriage. It looks like it may be in jeopardy. I don't know. I don't really want to speak too much on that because it's not really that important in terms of how he's playing on the football field. It may be affecting it, but just looking at what we're seeing on the football field, it's not looking like the same explosive Tampa Bay Buccaneers offense. Their defense is still pretty good. It's not looking shut down like it was in those first few weeks of the season. And Brady has been struggling, but I have to assume that he'll be able to turn it around just because of the talent on the Buccaneers offense. But the Tampa just hasn't looked the same this year. And I think a lot of teams in the NFL just haven't looked that good. There's a bunch of 3-3 teams right now as we progress throughout the season. And I think it'll be an interesting finish. Not the season just started, but it'll be interesting as the season goes along, and we'll see who some of the best teams are. And so let me know what you guys think about Dallas, about the game last night. Let me know what you guys think about Tom Brady. Let me know what you guys think about the NBA starting tomorrow, and then give me your thoughts on the MLB playoffs too. Why not? Everything in the comments. Thank you for watching this video, and be sure to find all of my content linked in the description.